Hey everyone. I have spent a lot of time in the past talking about the importance of emergency funds. And I think of an emergency fund as an account that you keep separate from your checking that has anywhere between 3 and 12 months living expenses, depending on your situation. Sometimes there'll be 12 months expenses on hand is what I'll recommend, in part because somebody might have very low job security or a lot of income variability. But that's the type of number, whether it's 3 months or 12 months expenses, that's hard to reach and certainly takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. But now more than ever, I think people are focused on how can I bolster my emergency fund more quickly. So just a couple quick ideas for you. The obvious ones to me are if you got a tax refund or you're going to get a tax refund, there's a one-time windfall that you can drop right into your emergency fund and get a little bit closer to your target savings amount. The other is if you qualified for the stimulus rebate checks. If you don't need those checks to make ends meet, that's another windfall that you can take and put directly into your emergency fund and get your financial house in a little bit more of a stable place. Now, some more kind of outside the box thoughts are perhaps redirecting some of your monthly savings to the emergency fund. So maybe you already were saving to an emergency fund, maybe you weren't, but if you have other goals where you're sending automatic monthly savings or twice a month or once a quarter, look to those, whether that's college education, whether it's retirement, although that one's a little bit heartbreaking if you have to do that. Maybe it's saving for a car or a vacation or a house or just general investment savings. Everyone's situation is going to be personal and different. However, you may be able to find some of those monthly savings and redirect them to the emergency fund so that your emergency fund gets to a little bit more solid place. Another thing that you can do is look at your monthly subscriptions. So all of us have subscriptions of some sort. Maybe we don't use them all. I think when you really do a full audit of your monthly subscriptions or quarterly or annual subscriptions, you'll probably find some dollars in there that you could redirect towards an emergency fund, again, to help speed up the process of getting it to that ideal target size. The final thing is an exercise that I learned about many years ago. I include it in my book, Making Money Simple. It's you basically go back and look at the past 2 or 3 months of transactions, which you can do by either printing off credit card statements, or maybe you export them all to an Excel file, or maybe you have an expense aggregator like Brightplan or Mint.com where you can see all the expenses. And this exercise works really well with 2 people. It's ideal to do with 2 people. So if you have a significant other, you print off 2 copies, you each fill this out and do the exercise. If you don't have a significant other, a trusted friend or family member will do just fine as well. And what you do is you would look line item by line item and mark the expenses as high value, medium value, or low value. If you and the other person have expenses that you both agree are low value, those are the expenses to cut. And if it's the type of expense that you know will come up again, well, just know that whenever that expense would naturally come up, let's redirect those cash flows to the emergency fund. Certainly, again, I mentioned the subscription part of it. If somebody mentions a subscription as medium value, whereas the other person says low value, maybe that bar is good enough in terms of saying we should cancel that subscription. So hopefully these ideas are useful for you. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want more information like this. And I also developed Smart Money Quiz, which I always talk about. It's just 9 simple questions that allows me to give you resources tailored to your specific situation. Thanks so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.